Hi guys. Okay, so caught me when I posted. So okay, great. So I wanted to record a video based off of your Mars placement because it got me thinking how crazy it is that whatever planet is in your Mars placement, how it affects you greatly. So I know that's like a no shit that goes with any planet, but what I'm trying to say is words. So for example, with a house placement that would seem not to match up with the planet that you have within that house placement, it still affects it, obviously, but it's just insane how it does. So what I'm trying to say is, so for example, my Mars placement is in my 8th house. So that's usually the placement of Scorpio. So Scorpio is usually all about death, transformation, rebirth, all that good stuff, secrets, the occult. So I never knew this, but I was watching a video about having Mars in the 8th placement. But my Mars is not in Scorpio, it's in Gemini. So, but that doesn't even matter because it's in the 8th house placement. It's still kind of giving me that Pluto-like energy. So I always thought this was interesting because I've always lived overall in good areas, maybe not such great areas all the time, but more than not, always good areas, suburbs. But yet, however, ever since I was a child, I've always had this survival-like instinct, like in the most oddest way possible. And I never quite understood it. And even as a child, I would always say, I really feel like in a past life I was murdered, and this is why I know how to survive. Like, because the weirdest things would happen. Like just for example, off the top of my head, I'll walk my dog sometimes, at time frames I probably shouldn't. And, or I'm asking for it. Just kidding. But, I'm able to spot things that probably most people wouldn't. And I saw this guy, he's definitely like the killer of the neighborhood for sure. The one that wears like the raincoat all year round when it never rains type of thing. And I just happened to look up at the same time where he was doing this thing where it was like he was eyeing me intentionally. Like he definitely had a whole fucking plan. He saw me, and then he looked down like he was ready to go into action. Like he had a whole skit plotted out. He looked down at his phone, and I caught this, and I was like, oh, hell to the no. And I just looked down because I was like not giving this guy the time of day or any eye contact. And he goes, oh, I found it. As if like this was part of a story line that I was part of, like a conversation. He was trying to pretend that I was somebody he was having a conversation with at one point, like as if we knew each other. But he knew I wasn't this person. I knew that, he knew that, but he didn't know that I knew. And so I refused to make any eye contact with him. And I was just like, no, you got the wrong person. And he didn't, see that coming. And he was just like, no, it's you. And I was like, nope, you got the wrong person. And he was like, and he wouldn't stop. He was like, no, it's you. And he tried following me. And I would legit, my mind went to, my dude, this was in my head, because I'm not stupid. In my head, I was thinking, I will legit make my fucking house key into a fucking shank in 2 seconds or less. And I will train my dog into an attack dog in 5 seconds or less if you keep fucking following me. Try me. Like, I literally, like, it goes literally into some type of plan, survival plan right away. And so he tried to think one more time, and I kept going, and I said the same thing to him. And so he knew to stop, and then he's like, okay, well, I'm just letting you know I'm going to walk to such and such's, which meant he had to follow me for another block. So I like that because he was smart enough to give me the heads up, because otherwise, I don't know, who knows at that point what I would have done. So, I always think of these moments, and things like this have always happened to me my whole life, literally since I was like a 4-year-old, 12-year-old, 18-year-old. I remember there was this fucking like van, one of those typical vans that your parent always tells you to stay away from, where of course just so happened to I spotted in the corner of my eye. I was, I think, walking with my mom, ironically enough, when I was 14, 15. And it was one of those days, I think, in New York when it was raining, snowing. And I saw it, and I thought it was driving kind of weird. It drove away. And then I heard something like 5 minutes later, and I saw it. And I told my mom, I was like, we're going to make a sharp left. We're going to walk this way. And it was into like a community building, like an apartment building. She's like, why? And I was like, because something's up with this van. They're following us. And she was like, I don't think so. And I'm like, yes, they are. Just trust me. So the second we made a left, I said, run. And we started running, and I told her where to hide. I don't know where these things came from. It's not like specific movies. It's not like I watched these movies. And sure enough, we hid. And I knew instinctively to watch the reflection of it, to wait a good 20, 30 minutes for it to do a loop, another loop, and then for us to run back home. And things like this, weird things like that, because when you have placements in your 8th house, you're more prone to odd situations like that. And then if you have a Mars placement in your 8th house, you have more animal instincts. And it's so insane, because I legitimately always wondered my whole life as a child, how do I know how to do these things? Like, I used to always say, must have been a past life, and never thought twice about it because of my religion. But I used to always think that in my head, oh, something with a past life for sure. Like, I was definitely murdered, and I learned things like this. I don't know how to explain. It's just one of those things you kind of just don't think twice about. But I just found that out this week, and I was like, whoa, like, that's why. That is 1000% no doubt in my mind, because I've never really had an excuse to act that way. So I thought that was interesting. And maybe what? I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, you guys should see where, if you guys have an 8th house placement, how maybe it affects your planet that's in there as well. So yeah, with that being said, let's see how your Mars placement is affecting you this week, okay? So, pile 1. If you feel like this crystal resonates with you, I feel like there's only so many crystals I could do. Feel free to fast forward to pile 1. If you feel like this crystal resonates with you, fast forward to pile 2. All right, pile 1. How is your Mars placement affecting you this week? Okay. All right. very skeptical. I feel like scattered, like dark, like in the dark about something. So it's like you don't know like you don't know how to act on something, or if you should act on something, and if you should act on something, how to act on it. Like that's the energy, like literally like in the dark, not knowing. Ascendant, entrance. All right, I'm going to pull another card. How is pile one's Mars placement affecting them this week? It was weird. It was like when I was closing my eyes, it's like I was able to see whatever the energy was, that like the location, I don't know, whatever we were looking at. How is pile one's Mars placement? There's something about like shadow and light. How is your Mars placement affecting you this week? I feel like you're trying to balance something out. It's showing up as your heart, but I'm not like feeling... I feel like it's representative of something else. Like I'm not feeling like it's your heart. I just feel like... But if you feel like it is, then go with that. I think you're trying to balance out your commitments, trying to figure out things that maybe you love. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why the heart's showing. Yes. Virgo. Okay. So Excuse me. Okay, so let's see. Ascendant, entrance. In a natal chart, the ascendant tells the story about how you walked into this life at your birth and how you walk into any new situation. It describes the door through which you see the world, and the world sees you, your filter system, and hints at your awakening consciousness. The ascendant, also known as the rising sign, describes the degree of the zodiac just coming up over the eastern horizon at the moment and place of your birth. Action. How do you see the world? Take a long look at the assumptions and presumptions through which you filter your experience of reality. Really look at how your privilege, trauma, or certain attributes of your history can distort the reality of the moment. Do what you want. Do what you can to dismantle those obstructions so you can see the whole view. Open the aperture. Do what you can to dismantle those obstructions so you can see the whole view. Open that aperture. Conversely, look carefully at the signals you send off. Do they match your intent? Do you say you're fine when you really need a hug? Are you trained to sound modest or apologetic when really you know what you're doing? Do you act like you know what you're doing when you don't? Notice what you project onto the world and take responsibility for how you are seen. The ascendant is where you become visible. If this makes you nervous, that's what I was picking up on. If this makes you nervous, investigate what needs to be healed or where you need to grow your confidence in order to feel comfortable being seen. If you are asking about a project, look for what needs to be repaired or improved before you hold a press conference. Challenge. The front door is only one part of the house. Be willing to look beyond appearances and into the heart, but don't count on others' ability to do so too. Gift. Over time, your reputation is built on what you do, not how you look. So what did I see? It was like, scattered, right? It was dark. It was the unknown. So maybe some lack of self-awareness, to be honest with you. Like maybe yeah. All right, Virgo. Digest. Symbolized by a woman goddess holding a sheaf of wheat, the mutable earth sign Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Wheat can only feed the multitudes once the grain is sorted from the chaff. Virgo is connected to the nervous system and the intestinal tract, the job of which to sort nutrients from the waste. The sun shines here August 21st through September 21st. Action. Look for the grain and release the chaff. Chaff or chaff? Whatever. Weed, harvest, sort. Something in this situation needs to be sorted, edited, or reorganized in order to bring in its harvest. Whether you're asking about a relationship, a work project, or the culture in which you work, Virgo wants you to be specific, sort and release a habit, not a person, and change how you interact, but not necessarily with whom you interact. Examine the situation for the patterns that need to be released and composited, and what seeds need to be saved for another time or planted for the next season. Rather than focusing on faults, appreciate what is valuable about each interaction, opportunity, and person. Truly absorb the worth and wonder and be healed thereby. It may be time to take an introspective break and work on your self-care routine. Look at your diet and health habits to see what needs improvement. Absorb vitality. Challenge. If you just weed the garden, and don't plant or cultivate, all you have is empty bed. Editing without creating gives you no content. Sometimes you have to ask the inner editor to take a break and let the creative process flow. Then let the editor clean and polish. Gift. The world is gloriously complex. Virgo encourages us to see how the details fit together, how the leaves and twigs make up a forest. Light and shadow. Oh, that's right. Didn't we see that before the balance? I said I was picking up in your light and shadow. Light and shadow co-create our image of the whole, rather than judge the worth of the part. Pay attention to the necessary role each piece plays. The shaft protects wheat so it can grow and therefore has value even if it's not edible. Perceive not just with your mind, but with mind, heart, and soul together. Yeah. Okay, so pile one. So there's a message about lacking somewhere in self-awareness. I don't know if you're aware, just because it's like we always believe we know who we are. So it's, I don't want to say it's not that you don't know who you are, but it's like, you know, if I were to be like, I'm Sunny, it's like, no, that's the ego, you know, like there's so much more in me, you know what I mean? It's like, who am I? I know what makes me happy. I know what I like to do. I know what I want my future to look like. I'm working towards my future. I know what type of people I want in my life. I know what, did I already say this? What would make me happy, what currently makes me happy, how I can get from point A to point Z, like what things will get me there. So it's like those things I didn't really know before. I was just doing without even realizing what I was told to do without being told what to do. So I feel like that sounds weird, or it doesn't really make sense, but it's like I was told when I was a child, you have to go to college to make money. First of all, no, that's not true, but whatever. So I did that. I was told I had to do that. I went to college. It's not how I made good money, but whatever, I made money off of it. And that's not to say my parents were in the wrong for telling me that. They were just doing their job. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But it didn't give me time to think about what I wanted to do. I was told what I had to do in order to get a good job, make money. Is that even what I wanted to do? And that may sound really stupid to you guys out there, but maybe that's not, I mean, I do want to make money. I just want to be clear, but I'm just saying, like, maybe that's not what aligned with who I was. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I was watching how my parents made money, or what they believed, or how they believed one should make money. And I just automatically was in this mindset my whole life that that's how I have to make money. And I never thought twice about it. Why would I? That's how I was raised to think. Like, okay, I have to be rich. I have to be a businesswoman, and that's what I have to do. And a part of me does resonate with that, but just not in the way that I was led to believe would work for me. And hopefully that makes sense. So I was led to believe that having a lot of friends is good. But the older I get, I realize that's not true. I think back to all the friends I had in high school, and I had so many friends, and it's like, and I had the best time. So it's like, no disrespect, but it's like, where were like the deep connections? There, it was more just like acquaintance or surface level. And then it's like, as I got older, okay, less connections. But even then, like, okay, we got a good circle here, a good amount of people. And then it's like, even then, it's like, you people fucking suck. You fucking suck. You're a shit talker. You're fucking fake. You wouldn't have my back if shit went down. Fuck you. You're cool. I'm out. Like real shit. So it's like these things that we're told we have to abide by, because it's like, we have to be loyal to our people. Okay, yeah, but who's loyal to me? You know what I mean? So it's like, you grow up sometimes with this mentality of, without even realizing it, that you're living for other people, and you literally don't even see it. You would have to literally sit back and really think about, am I doing what I love to do? Am I making the money I want to make? Am I is my circle true to me in the way that resonates with me? Like, and if loyalty isn't like for your guys' thing, because there's actually a lot of people out there that really don't give a shit about those things. Blows my mind, but I mean, it's just, I never realized that about myself, which is why this isn't so much a shock to me when people believe they know themselves, because the ego is so big. But it's like, it's crazy to find out that's like, that shit doesn't resonate with you anymore, because it's like, it's a fucking facade. It's not, you're doing the things you saw or heard are the things that you should be doing, because it's what the norm is. Or it's like, you don't want to go against the norm because it's like, you don't want to hear it, right? It's like, I do this stuff and it's like, I would normally have to hear it, but I stand up for myself now, and not in a defensive way, but just like with confidence, like, I know what I'm doing. No. But just like, but the truth of the matter is, the confidence I do have is, this goes somewhere. I don't know how, but I do know. I know this goes somewhere. Despite how shitty this camera quality is, and the fact that I can't pronounce words and I go off on tangents. So, hopefully that made sense. I digress. Oh, that's all I got for you. I forgot to end it. So, pile one, that's where Mars takes you this week. It takes you to thinking, really, honestly. It gets you acting in your mind, trying to balance something out. That's all I saw. Okay. Bye. All right. Pile two. Where does Mars take you this week? Where does Mars take pile two? What is that? I feel like slow movement, and there's something. I feel like it's a turtle. Yeah, it's definitely a turtle. Grounding energy. Where does Mars take you? Commitments. Balancing your commitments in a grounding way. Got it. I'm seeing you doing something. I don't know. I feel like it's an act of love. Like there's something very, I don't know, beautiful? Like I'm getting Venus energy. Uranus, change. Maybe that is the change. Going slow. And acting from a place of love. Balancing your commitments. Okay. Where does Mars take you this week? Where does Mars take you? Ooh, that sounded like more than one. No, sorry, wait. Is it, I don't want reversals. Yeah, no. We're not doing that. Go for it. Hey, just the one. Where is Mars taking pile 2 this week? Where is Mars taking pile 2 this week? I feel like the unknown, which would make sense with change. I feel like I see you. How would I explain this scene? It would be like, where are we? Where are we? No, that's over dramatic. But it's like somebody stepping out of a car with a beautiful hat and just like looking. Exciting stuff. Where does Mars take pile 2? I'm seeing temples, higher learning, education. So studying, something, you learn something new this week. Something blossoms. Pisces, sensitize. Okay, so 25, Uranus, change. Uranus acts like a cosmic clutch. I was going to say, acts like a cosmic bitch. I don't know why. Uranus acts like a cosmic clutch. It takes us out of one gear and after some chaos, shifts us into a new one. Uranus is the modern co-ruler of Aquarius and takes 84 years to round the zodiac. Uranus was the first planet we discovered once the telescope broke the boundary of our known solar system and coincided with the Industrial Revolution, when many technical and cultural assumptions broke apart. It embodies difference and eccentricity as it rotates in the opposite direction of most other planets, and at approximate right angle to them, with one pole pointing toward the sun. Action: surprise or be surprised. Be ready to shift gears. It's time to experiment and try a fresh approach or new road entirely. If your life were a garden, now would be the time to scatter handfuls of diverse seeds. Water them all, see what grows robustly, and weed the rest later. Urgent anxiety can be a symptom of Uranian restlessness. So rather than just flailing about, look for the root cause and ask what change would actually solve the problem. What looks like a disaster may bring a wild opportunity. If you are thrown a sudden or shocking change, assume that you are being tossed out of the nest into a potentially heroic journey. Chaos can be an important catalyst, an unnerving moment caught between forms. The discomfort allows and propels you to transform. Become your most authentic, eccentric self. You are just what is needed. Uranus also encourages technical upgrades and a cutting-edge approach, whether that means acquiring new equipment or new skills. Challenge: Uranus electrifies. It may feel like your finger is stuck in an electrical socket. You are anxious to change, but you can spin your wheels until you shift into the new gear. Gift: prepare for an evolutionary leap. Shocking circumstances can force you to engage gifts you didn't know you had and help you transform. You are not those external attributes in transformation. You will not dissolve. A caterpillar is still internally the same creature once it becomes a butterfly. Cool. Pisces, sensitize. The symbol for Pisces is two fish, usually swimming in opposite directions. Pisces rules the feet and resonates with wetlands, streams, and ponds. Ruled by expansive Jupiter in traditional astrology and by intuitive Neptune in modern astrology, mutable water sign Pisces calls us to sense our dreams and intuitive perceptions for the trickles and streams of understanding. The sun shines in Pisces February 20th through March 20th. Pisces asks us to swim in the ambient pool of emotion and be moved to compassionate action. With Pisces, think a vast watery landscape with streams meandering over fields, through ponds and swamps, where the different elements and diverse species flow together in one subtle, boundaryless, and fertile landscape. Appreciate all the diverse voices in the situation and take them as tributaries to your river. This complex ecology has so much more to say and is so much more robust than any simple monoculture. The situation you are facing is also subtle and complex, but that is its strength. This monument calls for finer perceptions, a more sensitive microphone. Be as aware of other people's feelings as you are your own, but know whose feelings are whose. Track carefully what you soak up from others and what is true to your own wellspring. Learn to honor a twin perception that we are both individual cells with our own work to do, and that our cells are embedded in the body of creation. Healthy boundaries help us do our individual work. Spiritual practice can help us shift our perception from the cell mind to our role in the body of the one. Challenge. Pisces permeability can leave you lost in a swamp. Amorphous, wondering whether your sadness is your own, or if it has been sponged up from your surroundings. Empathize with others, but don't try to carry everyone else's pain for them and double the burden. Gift. Tune into a healthy ecosystem with Pisces sensitive perception. We are all cells in the body of the one. Healthy individuals contribute to the healthy of the whole. So, what I like here is the fact that Uranus, change, sensitize. So I feel like, Pisces is, no offense to my Pisces, but such an emotional sign, so emotional. So it's like, I feel like somehow, when you're on your path to spiritual enlightenment, it's like tapping into that Pisces energy is huge. It really, really is. So each sign really is able to teach us something, right? I mean, again, everything is so straightforward, but there's this video out there where it's like, when you look at the house placements and you start from Aries to Taurus to Gemini to Cancer and so forth. You are supposed to learn something from the following sign to the next sign to the next sign. And it ends with Pisces. So with Pisces, it is supposed to be that interconnectedness, the one consciousness, the love. We are all one. I see me and you and me. We are all love. There's supposed to be compassion there, and this is where we as humans, we really lack in this. This is why there's so many of us who don't have this spiritual awakening, because that's the fucking hardest part of all, is this. Because what goes along with this is forgiving people and being able to put oneself in another's shoes. That part can be relatively easy. Understanding, well, actually, maybe not. I don't know. Actually, some people, it depends where your sign, your planets are. So sometimes it really can be harder for other people to have that awareness, to be able to empathize. So maybe not, but we're supposed to, as humans, be able to forgive one another for possibly the hurt they have caused. I'm not going to get into detail about specific situations where it's like this would be almost close to impossible. I'm not trying to go there, but the overall energy and the point to this journey and interacting with one another is oneness and love. And I know it sounds like such hippie shit, but it's like we are all supposed to have compassion for one another, because we can see just a glimpse of ourselves and everybody else, right? We've all gone through pain, heartbreak, cheating, deceived, money loss, job loss, whatever, like literally you name it. And I'm sure we've all resonated with that on some type of level. It could be the smallest level, but there's some type of level. What separates us is that awareness and seeing it, and that's what kind of separates everybody. So the Pisces is kind of like being in touch. Where's the fish? Where's the fucking fish? Oh, here. Why can't the fish? It's like the consciousness, you know, and I'm not going to get like religious, whatever, but it's like God, Jesus, being one, the higher self, spirit, one. So it's like, that's what you're supposed to be here. So when I said I'm seeing this grounding energy and going slow and being love and balancing, right? There's this balancing act. That is literally supposed to be the ideal human experience, is all about balance, balancing everything. You're supposed to be feeling everything, experiencing whatever it is you're supposed to experience in this life. But you're supposed to balance everything out. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully I'm wording all that right. We're supposed to love one another. It's just a very hard thing to do. So, you know, the best way I can word it is that sometimes I try to remind my mom, because she doesn't have the best relationship with her twin sister. You know, she'll be like, oh, Sonny, you just don't understand. And then she'll say whatever she says. And I'll be like, okay, got it. But like, how do you think, and this isn't to get political, so please, nobody. But like, how do you think God would view her? Do you think God would look at her the way you are viewing her? Like, what would God have to say about her? And he is seeing her from positive, negative, whatever. He sees all, right? Whatever you believe in. What would he have to say about her at the end of the day? So, you know, God is supposed to see our light. Hey! Saturn, no! Okay, that's a sign. I gotta go. Bye.